Thank you so much. I can't believe this. Everyone else in this category are so amazing. I love you so much. I feel so honored every time I get to be in this room. And as grateful as I feel, I honestly don't feel like I need to say anything, but that no one is illegal on stolen land. And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter, and fuck ICE is all I want to say.
Even days later, the conversation hasn't died down, which is incredible, yet here we are. The 2026 Grammy Awards have come and gone, ratings are low, and Billie Eilish finds herself at the center of a heated controversy. Rather than apologizing or retreating, she is doubling down, criticizing the public and making it clear she doesn't want certain fans. Her Grammy speech, the political backlash that followed, and her latest statements, which have left many baffled, are all fueling the discussion. Instead of attempting to repair the damage, she is signaling that she stands by her words, indifferent to detractors, which might be the most shocking aspect. The Grammys were already under scrutiny due to last year's low ratings, and many hoped the broadcast would focus more on music. But instead, other performers made political statements, and Billie's remarks on illegal immigration and stolen land quickly went viral. Clips circulated within hours, reactions poured in online, and her unfiltered delivery left no room for interpretation. While the audience in the room applauded, the response at home was drastically different. Social media buzz shifted the conversation from performances and awards to controversy, and Billie's name became instantly tied to another Grammy ratings flop. Many expected her to backtrack, explain herself, or at least acknowledge criticism, but she didn't. She publicly stated that she fully supports her words, has no regrets, and meant everything she said. She dismissed criticism as coming from people she doesn't respect, and made it clear she wasn't aiming to keep those fans. Speaking one's mind is one thing, but openly rejecting millions of listeners and acting as if losing them doesn't matter is something else entirely. At that point, even Billie Eilish's most loyal fans began to hesitate. With the Grammys already struggling to stay relevant, the controversy quickly became impossible to ignore. Context matters. During her 2026 Grammy performance, Billie used her platform to address immigration and ICE, questioning illegal immigration and describing the United States as stolen land. Her delivery was confident, passionate, and firm, prompting loud applause from the audience in the arena. But when viewers saw the clips at home, reactions shifted dramatically. Many who tuned in for the music felt caught off guard, describing it more as a political rally than an awards show. As online debates connected her speech to the ceremony, Billie's name became a focal point for why the Grammys didn't capture audience attention this year. She didn't retract her words. Instead, she doubled down, insisting she meant everything she said. She argued it was inaccurate to call the people she referenced illegal immigrants because the country was founded on stolen land, and she claimed her critics were driven by political bias rather than genuine disagreement. Billie also acknowledged that her comments had led millions of Americans to stop listening to her music, framing her stance as moral rather than financial. She explained that the audience's support rather than criticism moved her emotionally, and she took time to recognize other artists who shared similar views or supported her perspective. The fallout from Billie Eilish's Grammy speech did more than stir controversy. It reshaped her relationships, drawing some closer while alienating others. What began as a performance quickly became a debate about whether artists should use entertainment platforms to promote political causes, and whether such bold statements were helping or harming her career in ways she might not fully grasp. As always, the internet amplified the response. Supporters praised her courage and honesty, sharing quotes about bravery and truth alongside excerpts from her speech, calling it exactly the kind of boldness artists should show. But criticism was equally intense. Longtime fans expressed feeling dismissed or talked down to, noting that holding differing opinions doesn't make someone uninformed or mean, and many openly said they would no longer support her music, frequently using the phrase "I used to be a fan," signaling genuine disappointment rather than casual dislike. Much of the outrage centered on her later statements that she didn't want certain fans anyway, which only intensified backlash. Social media also spotlighted a striking irony. Rumors circulated that her mansion sat on land claimed by a Native American tribe, highlighting a perceived contradiction between calling attention to stolen land on stage while living in wealth on contested property. Critics argued this made her generalizations appear disconnected, and some noted that the Grammys themselves risked losing viewers because of the continuous political tone dominating the broadcast. Billie Eilish emerged as a central figure in a larger conversation about award shows, celebrity activism, and whether audiences are tired of being lectured at entertainment events. At this point, it wasn't even just about her. It was about her values, and navigating that scrutiny is challenging while reactions continue to pour in. To understand why the backlash hit so hard, it helps to zoom out. Award shows have long struggled with declining viewership and a growing sense of disconnect among audiences who feel Hollywood doesn't represent them. Billie was initially admired for speaking her mind, seen as sincere, honest, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. But there is a fine line between speaking up and appearing morally superior. And when criticism is framed as ignorance or hate, it risks alienating rather than persuading. Generational divides also played a role. Younger fans may view outspoken engagement as necessary and overdue, while older audiences see it as lectures overtaking performances. The business aspect cannot be ignored either. Music is still commercial, and public support drives streaming, ticket sales, and partnerships. Telling a large portion of the audience that you don't want their business is bold but risky, with potential repercussions down the line. Finally, the Grammys themselves are part of the equation. Over time, conversations focus less on winners and more on the messages delivered. Billie's comments tapped into a broader frustration with these events, making her the face of a sentiment that had been quietly building for years and was bound to erupt. Billie Eilish faced significant backlash after making a bold political statement during her Grammy performance, yet she doubled down, ignoring critics and turning a heated speech into a full-blown cultural debate. These days, the focus is less on what she said and more on how she responded. Artists are certainly free to voice their opinions, but they also have to live with the consequences. When millions of listeners feel excluded or dismissed, reactions are inevitable. That doesn't mean her beliefs are wrong. It shows that communication and delivery are just as important as the message itself. The pressing questions now are whether this will affect her streaming numbers or ticket sales, or whether it will fade as the next scandal takes over social media. Will the Grammys continue to struggle for relevance, and will Billie soften her tone over time, or maintain this unapologetic stance despite potential fallout? This episode has highlighted a clear divide between fans and celebrities, and Billie has firmly positioned herself on one side. It will be fascinating to watch how it shapes her brand moving forward. I'd like to hear from you. Do you respect her for standing her ground, or were her comments offensive? Let me know and we can discuss it further.